So guys, these are my tips and tricks to having greater success with your affirmations. Let's go. All right, guys, I am out in my natural space here to talk to you guys about the impact of how we process and retain on our success, really, with affirmations. When it comes to affirmations, so there's plenty of videos out there telling you the importance of affirmations, which I could go through a laundry list, but I prefer to list them below because what I'm really here to tell you is how to make them work for you. And that starts with understanding how do you process information and how do you retain information the best. So the biggest component of the success of affirmations is actually tying it into an action, right? And what happens once we tie it into the action, our belief around that affirmation becomes stronger. So when we increase our belief in something, we are more likely to act. But the question is, what is going to be your action around your affirmation? Where I want to start with you guys is discussing processing types and retention styles that people have. Now, I didn't honestly hear about these terms until I was an undergrad taking education courses. However, I think that teaching styles and learning styles should really be talked about with the student, even as young as like kindergarten. And maybe not using terms like auditory, visual, kinesthetic. Do I process it through my eyes or visually? Do I process it auditorily with my ears? Or do I process it kinesthetically through my hands or through touch? So, or movement. Movement's also included in kinesthetics. When it comes to how you learn, how you process things, that is such an under-discussed topic. And I feel like if people had really learned what their processing style is, we'd have so many more successful, confident people in our world. Why it's important to know your style when you're working affirmations is that if you're someone who is a visual learner and processes visually, you don't want to constantly be just listening to affirmations. You know, literally, it might just go through one ear and out the other. So when we look at how we're going about processing, you know, because we want to be successful, that's the whole point of affirmations. We want to succeed in something. So how we ingest the external stimuli of our affirmations is going to really impact the success with them. A lot of people also have more than one learning style. So, you know, I know myself and I am a visual kinesthetic learner. So when I do things, when I really want to learn things, I know that what the information I'm going to seek out or create in terms of writing down like notes and whatnot is going to be best through video, through images, or through actually physically acting it out. How best do you learn? How best do you embrace? How best do you process information? You know, you might want to look back on, you know, growing up. You know, what are some things that you remember growing up that stuck with you? And how did you actually come to remember them? You know, for me, I remembered the Spanish alphabet because my teacher, funny enough, my second grade teacher had us march. We had to march around the playground and we had to recite it out loud. And as kids, we had the music going, we were outside, and just having the ability to just use all my senses to really learn something, it helped me retain it. So today, to this day, I still recite it the way we learned it as we marched. And so when you learned something that you've managed to retain, think about how you learned it. That might be a hint as to what is your best way to process information for you. So that's honestly just my tip. Look back, think back to ways that you've been able to retain information and factor that in when you're creating your affirmations. Hi. Those are my tips and tricks to having greater success with your affirmations. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.